Hey guys. All right, so this video is my official, finally official entry into the hashtag WIG 2023 indoor growing, winter indoor growing. Took me forever to get here. Here I am. Okay. So I have my setup here. I have everything I'm going to need to get everything started indoors. First of all, I want to show you the seeds that I'm going to grow. Move that. Don't move that too far. Most of what I'm going to be doing indoors is micro tomatoes. So I'll show you all the micro tomatoes last. Let me show you the things that are not micro tomatoes that are also going to be done indoors. I'm going to do some herbs. I'm going to do some winter savory. I'm going to do some chervil. I'm going to do some summer savory. I'm going to do some Roman chamomile, and I'm going to do some German chamomile. Okay, those are my indoor herbs. Next, I'm going to do some lettuce, tennis ball. That way I can have some fresh lettuce indoors. I'm going to use one of my Baker Creek free seeds. This is a carrot called Coral. You're like, carrots indoors? I am, because I have this tall pot. I can get some really long carrots in here. We're going to try it, okay? I got room. I got the grow lights. We're going to do it. Micro dwarf tomatoes. There might be some regular dwarfs, but I think most everything is a micro dwarf. I'm looking, giving it the side eye. I think everything's a micro dwarf. But here we go. In no particular order, I'm going to be doing 12 micro dwarfs. Why? Because I have 12 of these, and they fit in there nicely. I'm going to start them in here, though. We're going to start small, and then we're going to work our way up. So 12 here. Once they get a couple of true sets of leaves, the 12 are going to go in here. If I feel like they need more room, I also have these here, which are a little bit bigger. Okay, so let me show you which 12 micro tomatoes are for my hashtag WIG 2023. We've got Sweet Splash Electra Variegated. We've got Purple Boy Micro Dwarf. We've got Fat Frog Micro Dwarf. And then we have the Nobolshoy Lemon. This is Golden Hour Micro Dwarf. And then Jip and Janky. Then we have Florida Petite. We've got the Birdie Rouge. We've got the Bonsai Micro Dwarf. And then we've got the Schneegerjerk. That's Swedish. Polar Baby. I think Polar Baby's also red. I don't think it's a white one. I think it's called Polar Baby because you can maybe start it earlier in a cooler environment. Polar Baby is from Miss Tomato Head, one of my winnings. And then Groovy Tunes. So those are my 12 microdwarf tomatoes. So let's get started. First, I need a drink. Man, that's a lot of talking. You can start your seeds in a soilless seed starting mix. I think that's recommended, right, actually. But what I'm going to do, I have a pot here of peat moss. I got a big old bag of peat moss in the garage. And I just filled up this bowl with peat moss, got it wet with some boiling water, because I'm going to tell you, boiling water for any of your soils that have peat moss in it or coconut coir and they've become hydrophobic where they resist the water, they won't soak up the water, you can you can let the water sit in there overnight and eventually it will soak down. But I guarantee you put boiling water, it soaks it up immediately and you don't have to wait, and you can just stir it up, mix it up, and plus it'll, if you have any fungus gnat eggs or anything else that might have gotten into your peat moss while it's in the garage, which could be anything, it'll kill it. It's dead. It's killed. Okay, so I have my peat moss. I have some potting soil from HEB here. It's a little heavy. Potting soil, and I have some compost from HEB. I also have some leaf mold compost from Nature's Way Resources and some worm castings. The seed, all of these seeds, the seed coat has enough carbohydrates or nutrients or whatever to get that seed up and going and get that first set of leaves out. You really don't need to fertilize your seedlings, so you have those first set of true leaves. The cotyledon leaves provide nutrients. The seed coat itself provides nutrients. But what I'm going to do, just to save myself some time and some effort, I'm going to pot these up. I'm going to pot these up with a soil mixture of all of these things. Just so it's there. It's there and I don't have to do it again, because I'm going to fill these up today. I'm going to fill these up today. This up today. Lettuces are going to go in here. And I'm going to go ahead and get these cups full. That way they're ready. When it's time to pot these up, we're ready to go. Okay. I'm all about making things easier for myself from the get-go. After I've planted the seed, we're going to top everything with the vermiculite. It keeps that top of the soil surface moist. It also keeps your soil from getting too moldy. It helps prevent damping off. And I think it does keep the fungus gnats away, if I'm not mistaken, which I could be mistaken. I'm mistaken a lot. I have my tags and I have my tape because I want to make sure everything is clearly marked. All right, so I've got my peat moss. I'm going to put it in this giant Tupperware bowl. Everyone should have a giant Tupperware bowl, I'm just saying. So let's do a little peat moss. And we're going to do a little potting soil. Organic top shelf potting soil. This is from HEB. And we have our top shelf compost from HEB. We're just going to stir. It's like a cooking show. I'm going to mix it all together. Let me get some leaf mold in here. Well, not too much. Not too much. I do want to use this on my houseplants, so not too much. And some worm castings. Just a little bit, because I think I'm going to top dress with some worm castings before I put the vermiculite on there. I want to start with the carrot, just because that's the biggest tub. Let's see how much soil. Okay, that looks good to me. That looks great. Okay. So this coral carrot, 75 days. So I am going to put today's date on the tag and how many days to maturity. So we'll check them in 75 days. So super nutrient dense heirloom from Europe, productive and vigorous with cylindrical deep orange roots averaging 8 to 9 inches long and free of splitting when grown in heavier soils. That's good. Well, this should be light and fluffy. And I do believe we can accommodate 8 or 9 inches or more. Okay. Great keeper. Silky smooth texture, widely grown in Europe, but unknown in the U.S. Well, it is now known. I think I might use a saucer plate to cover these to keep the moisture in. All right, here we go. I don't need to do the whole pack. No, we'll just do half the pack. There's my seeds. Go ahead and get these spaced out. All right, well, that looks good to me. Okay, I actually took this to the kitchen sink to water it. And I've got, oh yes, it's still dripping. Yeah, okay. All right, let's get started on some herbs, shall we? This one, summer savory. Okay, that's plenty. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Once the soil is moist, I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm not going to open the lid again until the foliage is touching. I'm not going to open the lid until the foliage is touching this lid. So I'll be able to see green touching this lid, and then that's when the lid will come off. So let me get some water. Today is December 10th. Tape it to the top. Once this lid comes off, I can stick the tag inside. But there's one done. Winter savory. Little chervil. These are long, almost like marigolds, like long sticks, like marigold. That's probably too many. Roman chamomile. Wow. Yeah, that's dust. Now would be a bad time to sneeze. German chamomile. These are just microscopic. That's quite a lot. All right, so for this container here, I'm going to do my tennis ball lettuce. What I like about this type of container is it has a built-in lid. I'm going to try to spread these as even as I can. Finally, the tomatoes. Here we go. Here we go with my 12 tomatoes. And I'm going to tell you, because these micro dwarf tomatoes are so precious and rare to me, I'm only doing 1 seed per cell. And I want to make sure I have enough to share and trade with all of you guys. So we're only doing 1 seed per cell. And that's all I need indoors anyway, especially with this many tomatoes over the winter. There's only so many tomatoes and salads I'm going to be having. All right. So I've got my chunky mix on most of the surface. What I'm going to do is I'm going to top it off. The very tippy top is going to be just peat moss. Okay, I have my tomato containers with tape on them. Let me tape this last one here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write the name. I'm going to write the name on here. The only ones that I won't be able to see the name on a piece of tape is these 2 middle cells. So I'm going to put these in there. But I thought I would tape these because it would be easier as this gets moved around. The more sticks that are in there, the more likely they're going to get knocked out. And I don't want to risk not knowing what something is. I can't stand not knowing what something is. Those of you who don't use tags, I don't know how y'all do it. I cannot not use a tag. I need to know. First cell, chip and janky. Right on top, right in the middle. A little leaf mold, little worm castings, little vermiculite. I'm going to do that for each variety. That took about 30 minutes. Okay. Anyway, it's all done. Got all my labels there, and the 2 in the middle have tags. So 12 micro dwarf tomatoes. So excited. All right, let's put everything under lights. The lights do not have to be on until there's actually a sprout there, but I have some other things in my office that need light, so the light will likely be on for these. All right, guys, here we go. I've got my dwarf tomatoes, winter savory, German chamomile, it's hard to see, summer savory, chervil, Roman chamomile, and tennis ball. Carrots are right here. Anyway, here we go. WIG 2023. Let's go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.